Hi luminaries, today we are going to make this adorable lion pom-pom. It's so easy to make, you'll be totally surprised. Okay, so what you'll need are yarn, 2 tones. I have 2 tones of yellow here, but I think you could use golden or a little bit of brown and yellow. Embroidery floss, black yarn or brown or blue, whichever you want to use for the eye. You only need about 5 inches if you're using this size tool. Any color yarn, I'm using peach for this, which is the mouth area, just some definition. A needle is helpful, a dab of glue, scissors, and of course your loom tool. And you could use any of the loom tools for this project. Okay, so let's get started. What we're first going to do, I'm going to move these things out of the way, things that I don't need now. And I'm going to take first one color yarn. So I'm going to go for the lighter color yellow first, and I'm going to wind 30 revolutions. Now if you are doubling up your yarn, just go 15, but I'm going to go 30, making sure it's not too tight or too loose and it's spread out evenly, about so. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward this part as I wind. Okay, so now you're at 30, so just secure it to one of these notches like so. And then you're going to take your eye color yarn, in this case mine is black, and I'm going to cut like so. Okay, perfect. Okay, let me bring in the other tools. So if you're using these other tools, you're just going to wind across the 2 arms here like so, and then follow the instructions here. Okay, so that was 30 revolutions, or 15, you're doubling it up. The trick to holding these eyes in place is you're going to wind in an X like so. And now I'm going to wind another 30 revolutions, okay? Okay, so that's 30. And see how this yellow is pretty solid here, and then it's beginning to gradient. I'm going to bring in the other yellow, and I'm actually going to just double up and start winding. So you want to create this kind of really furry effect. So I'm going to go another, let's say 60 revolutions, doubled like this. Okay, so we're at 60, secure it to any of the notches, cut. I'm going to set this aside. And now we're going to cut 2 feet of your embroidery floss. So 2 feet is usually from the fingertip to your bicep. Okay, I'm going to set this aside since we don't need it anymore. And now thread your embroidery floss underneath. And then making sure the ends are even, make 1 tie, not a knot, just a tie, making sure it's in the middle. Now take this end, which is the same end as the hole here, and you're going to slide it underneath and back to the other side. Again, making sure this is in the middle. And now you're going to make a double overhand knot, which is 1, 2, and then you're going to pull. Okay, let me do that again. So you're going to cross your embroidery floss, you go 1, 2, and then pull. So now it's a little bit snug, doesn't have to be tightened. Pull the yarn bundle off the tool. Now this is a tricky part. You're going to work very close to the knot here. Make tiny micro pulls so that it begins to tighten. Now you're going to close out this knot, so you're going to work very quick and very close. So I'm going to take my finger and put it on top here. You could borrow somebody else's finger if you want, and then like so, and then you're going to tie. Go very fast. 1, I'm going to make another knot for extra security, and then you're going to cut those out, bring back your bowl, and you're going to cut both loops. trimming for the lion is so easy. You are going to be totally surprised because we're actually only clearing out this area. Okay, so you see the eyes here. You can have eyes on both sides. So choose which side you want. It doesn't really matter because it's pretty much the same. I'm just going to go ahead and choose this side. So before I proceed, I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Okay, just cut at the end here. Cut. Okay, leave that shaggy. And now what you're going to do is you're going to flatten out this face area like this. An easy way to do it is to just begin to trim like this. Okay, and do it in kind of almost like a hard shape without that ridge in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to start doing it in that shape. Okay. Okay. So now what you're going to do, see how you have this shag here and then this area that's a little bit raised. Now we're going to flatten this area. So all you do is you're going to take your scissors and you're just going to flatten like this. I hope you can see it in this video. It's pretty easy to do. And now you're beginning to see the eye. Here we go. Do you see that? See how easy that is? And now you might just want to clean up a little bit. The nice thing about a lion is that the mane is so furry that, you know, if it's a little bit messy, it's just going to look natural. Okay. See how little I trimmed off? That's it. All right, so now we're going to set this down. Okay, so if it's not, see, I could see how that is a little bit uneven, but that's usually, that might be okay. If I don't like it later, I could always take my scissors and trim it down. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring back the glue. And now I'm going to make almost like a half U and then a full U on this side. So I'm just going to measure this out, pretty easy. And then I'm just going to snip a tiny piece on the other side. So if you have a glue gun, this would be excellent. It would be very, very fast for you. Just make sure you don't burn yourself. Okay, so put this on one side. And don't worry about the glue showing because when it dries, it's going to dry clear. Now I'm going to do this U. There we go. You could also take your needle, clean it up a little bit, and then help manipulate it and hold it down if you like. Okay, now take the other one. And then do the same. I need my needle for this one too. Okay. Sometimes if it's too long, just snip a tiny bit off, that's fine. Usually what I like to do, when this dries up a little bit more, I like to actually just take the glue and go over it a little bit. This will make it kind of stick even more. It'll harden and it'll dry really nicely. Take this out of the way. Can you believe how easy that was? Whoops. That is so cute. This yarn was curly for some reason. This is a little bit more straight, but look at how cute these are. Enjoy, everyone.